Good evening, loves, and welcome to a taste of Lavina, Poetic, Empress, coming at you with a taste of Mr. Witz. Now, how are you guys doing this evening? You know how I like to get the party started. Deepest Thoughts by Lavina. Good evening, Divine Wordsmith. Thank you for joining. Good evening, Keena Pearl. Thank you for joining with Deepest Thoughts by Lavina. Expressions by Lavina. Those are books of poetry about body, mind, and spirit, about life experiences, things that I've experienced. And my dirty little secret. You got to read it to find out what the secret is. Hello, hello, hello. I'm just waiting for my guests to get into the building so we can get this party started. Let me send him a... Okay, that's not... It's not doing what I want it to do. Okay, it was sent. So I hope you guys, hello, Sir Lawrence. Thank you for joining. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. Mine has been peaceful and just a tad bit restful. So just getting ready for new things, new adventures. I hope you guys are doing the same. I'm sure you guys are working on poetry pieces, learning new stuff. Okay, yes, I'm a little amped up here, trying to just calm myself down a little. Do you guys like this piece? It's a paparazzi piece. I'm thinking this was $5 also. Hello, Gifted Johnson Wilson. Thank you for joining this evening. I love fashion, jewelry, boots, shoes, coats, gloves, scarves, hand fans. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, thank you, Kiana. Thank you. And I seen a couple of your pictures. I like the way you dress. I seen one of your shirts. I have a couple of those shirts where it's cut through the middle there between the chest and the neck. Those are cute tops. I like those. Creative Vines, thank you for joining. And thank you for the follow. I'll follow you back when the show ends. We're just waiting for Mr. Witt. Thank you, Gifted. Thank you. And hello to you also. Now, while we're waiting, would anyone would want to come in and do a poem, one poem for me, while we're waiting for Mr. Witz to come into the building? Is anyone going to bite tonight? No takers? My name is made, that she said. Oh. Oh, thank you. I love your style also. Good evening, Brooklyn in the house. Thank you for joining. We're just waiting for Mr. Witz to show up. And I'll ask again, would anyone like to come in? Oh, Mr. Witz is in the building. He should pop up on the screen at any, there he is. Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a taste of Lavina, Poetic, Empress, coming at you with a taste of Mr. Witz. He is a poet, an author, and so much more. How are you doing this evening?
Hey, beautiful. How are you this evening?
I'm good, thank you. Now, Mr. Witz, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself because you have a lot going on.
Thank you for that. I appreciate you. For
Mhm.
those who don't know who I am Mr. Witz, one half of Granny's Boys. I'm a member of Respect the Mike Slam team. Shout out to my squad, Ain't Right Tribe. Shout out to my fam, Penmanship. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's a lot going on with me. I'm a 5-time published author with several others on the way. I'm a clothing designer. I have several designs that are out there with um, plenty of work that's coming. Um, I guess tonight I'm just bugged out. I'm baffled about the way people behave in this community. Um, I'm really a giving person. I'm a community person.
Mhm.
I'm here for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Right.
always giving off my love and giving off pieces of me. If one thing anybody could say about me is if you ever had a live going and it had anything to do with poetry, I've come to visit to give you love and support within your system at some point.
Right.
Um, what bothers me is there's so many takers within this community, man. People just can't. They just everybody want a piece of you. Everybody want a piece of you. And when you do these things, when you take these chunks and pieces out of a person, um, you belittle their work. You take away from the purity of what it was.
Mhm.
Um, let alone most of it goes on without the homage. There's so much people running around here being so original in somebody else's shadow is ridiculous. It's like all of these lives that have come about and brought themselves to these big imageries of who they would like to be or like to portray, of all baby piggyback riding something else, um, without the homages, without the love and the respect, let alone the support, you know. I'm just looking to see some originality out here, you know. Um, I want to see people doing them and truly being who they are, and instead of taking a piece of somebody else. You know what I mean? I hate that I gotta open up that way. You know what I'm saying? But it's come to a point where it's starting to be downright disrespectful.
Mhm.
You know, at some point somebody got to say something. You know, and a lot of it that I'm speaking from is from my own perspective. You know, I came into this community with an energy about being pure and being genuine.
Mhm.
And who naked up in here came from that. Who naked up in here came from please be you. Because I'm
Yes.
gonna be the best me I can be every time you see me.
Mhm.
And I don't want no fake people in front of me.
Exactly.
And if that be the energy, if that be the movement, you know what I'm saying? Um, then homage has to be restored. There's so many entities out there. Everybody's naked now. Everybody has some form of how they want to be naked. And don't get me wrong, I did not invent the word, but there was no one as naked as they are today until I decided that that was my motto, my MO.
Mhm.
And now I see people naked on CDs. I see them naked on books. I see them naked on lives. I see them walking in their truth. And I'm like, all of that is my shit. That's my shit. And the more you borrow from me without paying homage to me makes me dislike you. I don't have time. I don't have room in my heart to hate nobody. You feel me? Because you'll be your own demise in the evil that men do.
Right.
But in all reality, I have emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see you take from me without paying due respect to me, yeah, you getting under my skin. You're getting on the wrong side of me. So again, I am Mr. Witz. Good evening, all. Thank you all for coming in and viewing. And I hope y'all understand and respect my truth. Y'all know I'm not a boaster. I never came out here and said I was the greatest. I never said I was Muhammad Ali in his poetry ring. Every title that was given to me, other than Mr. Witz, was given to me. I named myself. I'm not gonna let nobody claim me and name me or label me. But there has been so many titles that have been given to me, and I still haven't ran out and said I'm this person, I'm that person, I'm this person. I say I'm part of this affiliation because when I say I'm community, I mean that. But it's so many selfish individuals that think that they can move in the name of community. You feel me? And yeah, it's affected me, especially when you steal from an energy that I've created. You know.
Well, Mr. Witz, thank you for sharing that because I'm sure you're probably not the only one who feels that way. It's a shame that people don't take the time to find out who they are, that they don't take the time to find their own voice and bring all of themselves to the party. It's like you can't. Um,
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the
no,
comments.
I know, because I was reading some of the comments also. But it's just like me trying to come on here and be like someone else. It's well, first of all, I don't. I love being who I am. I like being who I am. And like you said, some slogans or things that are attached to our names and whatnot, we might not be the originator of the word, the particular, like you said, naked, but you're the one who came out first on the scene saying who's naked up in here. And I remember the first time I heard you say that, I think I asked the question, what does it mean?
That's right.
See, that's what sets you apart. That what's naked, you're not saying who's naked up in here to say who doesn't have on any clothes. You're
That's right.
saying exactly. So based on the way you're bringing it to the table, nobody else can do it like you. They can say, you
Okay.
know, who's naked and yada yada yada, but they're not going to deliver it. They're not going to have all the things that come with that when you express yourself and how you recite or spit your poems. They're not going to, and not to mention all the things that you have going on. So I'm telling you something that somebody had to tell me because I was pissed when somebody, you know, tried to bite something from me. But they're like, people are inspired by you. And it's a shame to say that they're not giving you the homage, you know, paying you tribute for that because the Bible says, give honor to whom honor is due. Um, so maybe they'll view this video and start, you know, giving you that the
If they
respect.
view this video, and I hope they do, I want them to recollect themselves and just don't do it no more. I don't want homage for what I've already doing. I'm already doing this. You know, um, a lot of these people have genuinely only supported me when I visited their lives. You
Oh,
understand? Most of these people aren't here right now for this interview. You feel me?
right,
You know, they may catch it on the playback. You understand what I'm saying? But
right.
the same people that'll find a way to get a nug out of you are the same people that ain't supporting me. And that's
Exactly.
why I'm a rage in Harlem. You know
I
what I'm saying? That's why I'm raised in hell because um, I don't do that. I mean, I have a whole catalog of pieces of inspiration that
mm-hmm.
I dedicate to everybody that has inspired me. So
Right.
to be torn apart like that, no, I'm here to collect my pieces. I'm about to start jumping on people's lives and telling them to check themselves. Yo, that's my shit. You saying what you doing is mine. So you know what I'm saying. You can reroute and go back to doing what you do and not do what I do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Unless you're true about it. Because like you said, even though they can't do it how I do it,
Mm-hmm.
they're it's the incentive. You know what I'm saying? You know, you putting initiative, and you you putting that idea in people's head that boom, it's the implication of the same. It's not. I'm not gonna say the same thing, but it's still the same implication.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that's me. That's
Mm-hmm.
me. So I'm gonna start jumping on people's lives, and I'm gonna just start checking them. You feel me? And ain't no sense of sitting here acting like you know this is a IG gangster threat type shit. You feel me? You
Mm-hmm.
know, I ain't about to come hunt you down and shoot you behind this shit. You feel me? But I will
Right.
expose you. You feel me? And if we get down to bread, we get down to bread too. You feel me? But my shit is my shit, and I have a movement. I have plans to blow up Shuate. I'm not doing this shit because it's a hobby. A lot of people have come into this arena
Wait, Mr.
that
Witz, Mr.
hmm,
Witz, can you please,
yes.
can you just say that one part again?
Oh
You
yeah, I
don't do
mean
this.
that with all my heart. I'm not doing this
Come
because
on.
this is a hobby. I do this because this is the way that I know I can survive and feed my family through
Come on.
generations, let alone be here throughout generations. See, a lot of these people have come into these arenas because these arenas are there, and they figure, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I can do that too. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
when you get a little bit of love, you think that you put yourself in a watered down situation, because you're already weighing yourself to, oh my God, it's greatness there, you know, it's greatness through practice. This is not
Mm-hmm.
an accident that we sharp like this. We work
Come
to
on.
be this sharp. And when you think you can
Yes.
just come in here yesterday and be this sharp without training and without homage, you know what I'm saying? Because you got a couple of things going on these screens, you disrespecting the craft.
Come
And I'm
on.
not going to allow you to distort this community. You know what I'm saying? That's why from the very moment that I started these lives on my side of things, when we created Poetry Threesome, it was my brother, Coach Josh Smalls, and me, and
Mm-hmm.
another female that I care not to speak of because for whatever reasons, I don't have to disclose. But I'm saying is I decided to bring features onto the screen because
Mm-hmm.
I wanted these Instagram poets that developed yesterday to see these well manicured artists that
Mm-hmm.
have put their life into this work and
Mm-hmm.
not playing with it. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? I wanted them to see how serious this was so that the respect could be there. But
Right.
all of these watered down baby lives that don't came about that ain't about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Let there be a direction. If not, then you just Burger King next to McDonald's fighting over the market.
Exactly.
You know, where's the message? That's
Mm-hmm.
why I don't respect a lot of these poets. A lot of these poets, and don't get me wrong, everybody has a journey, but a lot of them live um, within themselves, so they can't get out of the biography of what they about. You
Right.
feel me? When this world is bigger than you. That's why my
Mm-hmm.
message ain't never about me. I
Right.
might put myself in it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find me putting myself in it because that will tie you to the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
That make you listen more. When you hear, oh, that's his story.
Mm-hmm.
That's what America does to you. So I just did the same thing to tie you to the fucking truth. So to
Mm-hmm.
make you listen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, A lot of these poets are putting out these poems and there's no message. All
Mm-hmm.
right, and I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Yeah, the revolution will not be televised. It won't be. You feel me?
Right.
But if you keep watering it down with how happy you are with the American dream,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna die in this nightmare, and you're gonna pull so many of our babies to that cesspool of death with you. That's why we have so many babies leaving that young. A lot of these poets is just rappers that realize you outgrown rap, so now they gonna want to come back to poetry.
Oh wow.
That's why there's no message. That's why there's no message. See, rap is self-centered. That's why so much destruction in rap. That's why so much destruction fed through rap. You don't have no public enemy in rap no more.
Right.
The public enemy of rap is in the poets because those was always poets
Right.
because they was always giving you poetry.
Right.
Yeah, I'm venting tonight.
Well,
I'm
can you
venting.
vent? Would you be able to please vent with a poem, please? A conscious piece?
I always got you with some food, love. I design lines that redefine rhymes and broken continuum. Capture minds at the door when you visit them. I take the floor like trap doors emitting them. I should case my energy like battery lithium. Feeble cerebrals always seem to get lost in my topic, though I contact lenses of third blind optic. Atomic plutonium weight don't compare how I drop it, though I'm shooting for the sun, moon, and stars in my cockpit. Funny how love lost of a young lady could make you want to change your batting average, make an athlete out of you, when all you know is win. But an L can push you. Amazing the influence a person can have over their peers. Type of persuasion that can incite a riot. One that can leadership a pep talk that can literally result in a blowout. Could you imagine being innocent, charged and found guilty by a prosecution that wants to take away your life? And your best news comes when your lawyer tells you you're not at risk of being executed within the next year. Could you imagine the flicks of breath flowing through your lungs at the sound of another 365 days as you look in the face of the man the law firm has sent out to reevaluate your case? You only hope he's genuine in his fight for your freedom when it seems no one is there to be in your corner because you're already guilty in a systematic eye, which is the very reason you are incarcerated in the first place. And his words are as fancy as his designer suit, leaving you to question whose side he is on. Knowing the only suit they want to see a black man in is the one issued by a correctional facility. Will he believe you when you tell him you really didn't do it? Or are you guilty to proving innocent in his eyes as well? Because you know some lawyers will trade your innocence for a not guilty verdict in a future case. Just imagine waking up with a throat full of rocks, like someone had funneled gravel down your throat, with your heart racing your mind like an Olympic tryout, leaving you to question which organ will give first. But none of this matters. All things considered, your life expectancy has been given a due date, final meal, final song to accompany the emotion that you fight back the tears of being wrongfully accused as a guard buzzes in and the cell locks open. The jingle of his shackles sound just like slavery. Then they handcuff your wrists along with your ankles to deliver you down this long hallway. Two guards on your back like a means to escape? If they're brave, what are you? Staring death in the face. The stench of injustice is the paint on the walls, and it's all in your clothes, like a smell you can taste. See, it pains beyond restraint when you're made to be the fall guy. Melanin backdrop like a sheet of bullseyes, like your skin has conspired with everything unlawful, and there's nothing you can say to get this targeting off you. You sit across from this lawyer. It's hard to speak to him because he's all in a reminder of how it will all end. So your anger reappears in the wrinkle of your forehead, and his sympathetic friendship is lost in his grin. Then the CO crashes in, eager to gift you with his bracelets and deliver you home, meaning back to your cell. You can't help but feel helpless to the prejudice remand of your spirit and body as your eyes start to swell. You can only look back at him like you have nothing to lose and pray that his next visit will bring better news. But you and I know better than to count on his ethics when it was one of his colleagues who had written this sentence. Could you imagine being innocent? I love that. I love that.
No, nobody can do it like you. Nobody. Now, Mr. Witz, can you tell me when did you start writing and drawing, and when did
Mm.
speaking come into play?
Wow, wow. Now all of that is magical in itself because I was I was very shy when I was young. I think they say that a lot about us artists, intricate people that we have this shyness and kind of a weirdness about us.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was young, um, it took me a while to walk. I'll go back that far. So
Okay.
my mom's carried me around a lot. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want to see me falling, and my aunts and them thought it was a little joke, so it was funny to them. And my mom didn't like it, so she carried me around. So that definitely brought me closer to her, which made me a mama's boy,
Right.
right? Um, from elementary school into junior high school, I've always been um, into art. All right. So I think I really got into art before I got into poetry. So I was one of those stick man guys that used to draw the stick man on top of the stick man and then take the pencil and roll it back to make it look like they're in moving in action. So
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that type of stuff when I was in elementary school.
Okay.
Um, I remember my mom going out one night. My mom was big on roller skating. So
Mm-hmm.
one night, before she went out, I stuck a note in her pocket
Mm-hmm.
that said top secret. And then when she opened it up, it was folded. So when she opened it up, it was I love you in hearts. Like all the words was in hearts. So
Mm-hmm.
my mom still has that to this day,
That's what's up. Mm-hmm.
which really, really, you know, melt me inside that she can still hold on to something so small, that
Mm-hmm.
tedious for this long, right? So yeah, I have a big tie to my mom, and that's where where Granny boys come from. Granny is my mother. Me and my brother Coach Josh Smalls got together and decided to start Granny Boys as a poetry group.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we were already Granny's boys. Yeah. I have five sibling brothers and two sibling sisters. So
Okay.
I come from a big family.
Right.
Back to where the art came from. Like I said, I was always drawing back then. So drawing was my first love of art. Okay. Um, as time went on, I started to find my love of words with certain teachers. I would say, you
Mm-hmm.
know, in in school and coming up in the neighborhood in East New York, um, you either had asshole teachers or you had a half a asshole teacher. You didn't really have those great teachers because No, let me back that up. We had a few. We had a few great teachers. Those were the ones that they definitely moved out of the community, though, and that's why I say it like that. But we did have some great teachers. I had a great art teacher
Okay.
who kind of broke my heart with art
Mm-hmm.
because we had did a painting and we were supposed to come back the next week and pick it up after it dried.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't know if they fired her, got rid of her. We didn't know the politics of it. We were kids. All I know is she was gone, and so was our art. And that was like the first thing that I ever painted. And I wanted to bring that home to my mom, and
Mm-hmm.
that broke my heart. So that kind of stirred me from the art, the art part of me.
Okay.
And then I started to find myself into the words.
Okay.
And that's when I started to write more. I think when I was 18 is when I really fell into my writing self. I had come home from Job Corps. I got kicked out of Job Corps after 6 months, and when I got home, everybody was rhyming. Everybody was a rapper, and I was like, "What the hell's happened to the neighborhood?" You know what I'm saying? When nobody wasn't rhyming. When I left this motherfucker, now everybody rhyming. So it was amazing. But you get in line. That's how it is. I wasn't a stay in the house kind of guy, so you get in line. You feel me? This what y'all doing? Okay, let me get in the lab and I'm gonna start putting mine together. I remember my first rhyme I wrote. I said to my brother, Coach John Smalls, the
Mm-hmm.
very first rhyme that I wrote, I said to him, and even then, it was a story.
Wow.
It was a story. It was some street shit. You know what I mean? Um, drugs and violence was what we was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Even when we didn't know what we was talking about. I can honestly say that. It was a lot of messages that were so misconstrued because it was passed down. It wasn't from experience.
Right.
So that's how the youth get lost and misguided by passing down that wrong message. And then by the time it get to them, it's just telling them that this is what you do. You go to jail and you come out and you be a success story. So
Mm-hmm.
now that's the thing. Everybody's looking for that rite of passage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, as far as my voice goes, that's something that's super funny because when we were young, you know how the parents do. They get us at the family gathering, and somebody's singing, somebody's dancing. You know, they had me and my cousin Jamila. I love her to life, male and female, with the hairbrushes, singing. And man, they'll never let me forget that. Even if I tried to have amnesia, they'll never allow me to forget that. My family. Oh man, so that was an amazing time that we had. We actually we come from big families, so we know gatherings. We know how that feels, and that's why it's so big. That's why we so big on community. Like
Yes.
I ain't nobody trying to do this shit. I ain't trying to do all the work. I've been doing too much work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done doing every damn thing. You feel me? Coach, no,
Yes.
my brother does a lot of work. Excuse me?
Okay. I was like, oh, I said, you said you finished doing all the work. You still going to do the live poetry show in Charlotte, right?
No, don't misunderstand what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm about building this community,
Okay.
making a room for a space for everybody.
Yes.
People don't realize this. These shows, these features I'm lining up, you know, my job is to make sure that they taken care of. You know what I mean? Before me,
Right.
um, that this has always been a Granny Boy's mo. Is to make sure that if you come and be a part of us, we make sure that you eat before we eat. You feel
Okay.
me? So if you
Yes.
come into our house, we're gonna fix you a plate before we sit down and eat. I just think that's the proper way of doing things. That's
Yes.
how we've been raised. So we
Yes.
treat this poetry community the same way. These features I line up, I make sure that I feed them. Boom, money in your pocket. Boom, boom, bam. Before I make money at the door. Half the time, um, we started this venue during holiday season, let
Right.
alone let alone COVID, right?
Right.
But during holiday season, so um, we haven't pulled the major crowd yet. And like I do say yet, because we are doing some big things. We've always been about the community and feeding it. So it's ordained for us to be on this road. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm sorry, baby. Hey, talk to me. I'm doing all the talking. I'm just running my mouth, and you probably got questions.
I do, but I will tell you why I asked that question because when you said you was done, I'm like, wait a minute, because and I might be being selfish here. I
No,
apologize,
I ain't done.
but I'm coming to Charlotte in the next couple of
Ah,
months, so
come
that's why
on,
I'm coming to hit up your open mic. I
come
was
on,
like,
come on.
so that's why I
Look,
had to ask. I was like, wait a minute.
now I'm not quitting anything. This is
Okay,
who we are. This is not a hobby. We serious about this. I'm
exactly,
just saying I'm not trying to be the
Mr.
overwork. I'm
Witz.
not working myself into the grave.
Let me tell you, this is not a hobby for me either. Um,
Say that, baby. Say
when
it.
I started this, as a matter of fact, I didn't have any idea about poetry, speaking poetry, writing poetry. Well, evidently God did.
See, Cole say come through.
Um, and so when I started writing, I wrote because somebody hurt my feelings. So I was like, I'm gonna cuss him out. But thank God, when I finished writing, it wasn't a cuss out. It was a really beautiful poem. And
Hmm.
that was in 2015. And to speed things up, in 2016, God said, you need to start speaking these poems. I was like, I don't know nothing about, speaking poetry. Well, in any case, God got in my ear and boom, he that's when, and he also said publish a book. When you go to these open mics, take your books, speak these poems.
That's right.
So, so this all of this, because I was a hairstylist for 28 years, had a salon and all that. So I stepped out.
Yes, I could see that.
You
I could see the
understand? So
stylist in you. I could see it in you.
thank you. So yes, I totally get when you came on the show, I let you vent because I'm like, I get it. It's not a joke. It's not, this is not a hobby for me. I'm
That's
serious
right.
about my business. And that's
That's
why
right.
when I do something, I do it in excellency to the best of my ability. And I push anyone else to do the same any way I can. And this is what this is all about,
That's right.
exposure for poets and a place where you can come and do your thing. People can hear about you, know about you, because I don't remember what you was live on one of the open mics on one of the shows, and I was like, okay, one day I gotta get him on my show because I'm like, he's woke. Yeah, you wide awake. So I do
Yeah,
think,
I'm still learning. That's one thing I'll never say.
oh yeah,
I'm
let me
where I'm
tell
supposed to
you,
be, baby. I'm still learning,
I'm
and I'm
very
just.
excited.
It's my duty to give you what I got when where I'm taking it. I got to give you what I got.
Exactly. Because I'm like, without learning, I'm like, what, something, I gotta learn something else new. I can't just learn this and I'm satisfied with just that. I'm like, no, it's gotta be, okay, what else? Where do we go from here?
Yes,
What comes after that? So
indeed.
yes, I appreciate you. I really
I
do.
appreciate you. No, I appreciate you more than you know. Just for allowing me to come in that mannerism too. And I still apologize for it because it's different for me. But I don't apologize for what I said. I apologize for making it happen here on your space as an introduction. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you still appreciate that truth. Because if you didn't,
Yes,
you wouldn't have brought me in here. You
exactly.
know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that's needed in this world, truth and honesty.
Yeah.
So many things can be avoided. So many things can be so much better. It can go in a different direction, a better direction, if you, like you said, we speak that truth.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
a lot of it is the conversation. You know.
yes, yes.
Mhm. So let me
Exactly.
give you some more work.
Yes, please. Ladies and
Mm.
gentlemen, this is a taste of Lavina, Poetic, Empress coming at you with none other than the wonderful, truthful speaking, fire breathing, Mr. Witz.
The quantity of motion of a moving body, measured as a product of mass and velocity. Today's fashion, yesterday's atrocity. Forward motion with the weight of the world on top, we speak of motivation. Without momentum in play. Seem as quick as we progress, we fell back to their way. For example, in less than 365 days, went from Django Unchained to 12 years a slave. So what fuels our engine? Because you see the gas rates. It's a tightrope race between murder and rape. Further we skate from the path, closer we see how we got here.
Hmm.
Look at the dress code. Underwear became outerwear. So we sacrifice nakedness for what lies beneath. Though naked is the ocean, you gotta go deep for the reef. Some say sleep is death's cousin, but can't see past eyes' lashes. When you don't rest the body crashes. As
Hmm.
time pursues, some hold on to their youth to the end. Meanwhile, some youth will never be men. On a mission through prison, being coffins they're found. Domino effect, ain't even realize the knockdown. Profound minds in time find an exit to the maze, which is usually an entrance into another maze. Hell's a notorious story well written on the page. In a blaze of glory, there'll be no glory in the blaze. See, it's a sinful mule, and lust riding at the reins. In search of the weak link, they just tugging on the chains. Willie Lynch influences,
Hmm.
smothering the brain. What some do to get a fix, some will do for fame. See, it's a game till you lose and you recap the plays. Probably pull for the J when you had delay. Decisions affect the outcome. Still, we stand divided. Ain't even room for discussion. We've already decided. The simple mind attitude of how I'll do it myself that got you comfortable with somebody else's help was wise. But blind eyes will never see their condition. Like prayer without motion to take what God positioned for you. The human race just sound like a contest, don't it? Not
Hmm.
only do we condone competition, we own it.
Come
So
on.
who's pushing the buttons? Better yet, selecting contestants. Every
Hmm.
obstacle is a challenge to be taken with relevance. Like every life lived is a lesson for the lives behind it. We get protective of our future. Then we get reminded they plot population control and democracy. I mean, to build a casket to bear more than one body.
Hmm.
Evil intentions are amongst us, weapons armed and ready. Some usually don't pay attention to the effects directly. Broke the levees, moved to survive, and hell, they displaced families. Cleaned up in time to party.
Hmm.
Sound like stolen land to me.
Hmm.
He who staked claim and set forth in every land he roamed. And it don't matter if you was born here, this is not your home. This is Babylon, where eyes are on the tainted prize. So migration to this cesspool should be no surprise. If everything's by the hustle, then we built to lie. This hustle means to manipulate for gain or rise. Words have meanings, though we manipulate what they define. If you ain't teaching, then you thieving from the youthful mind. Be mindful of the message that you programming. When motivating uphill, you can kill momentum. This piece right here is
Hmm.
this next piece I'm gonna do real quick is a shout out to my brother Solo. This is how you do it, inspired by something that he wrote. Um, we had a discussion, and he still can't tell me the name of the poem, but it don't matter. This is definitely inspired by my brother Solo. I never had a problem making friends, but I make enemies even quicker. At the clip of the umbilical cord, Doc told me that the world don't like me.
Hmm.
He said I was born with a hate on. a disgruntled skin tone, or watch what you say around here disposition. They say that snip was just the tip of the spear, teasing like, let me just put the head in. They say that metal will always lust over me, chase me more than hard liquor in the mind of a stalker. I heard my melanin birthed me into a fixed marriage. No ball and chain, the knot was tied to noose my neck, arrowing my Adam's apple drape, you see. They arranged death for me even before I was born. Black boy, black target, black blood spill like orgasm. Ain't a family tree they wouldn't hang me from.
Mm.
They say I'm the right blood type, the way metal attracts. Thirsting the iron in my genetic makeup, even before I was a teen. Pedophile in me, wanting me more than his own case, wanting me more than endangered species. We'll keep in touch till I reach my demise, the way bullets automatically fly the guns directly into my vital organs. They say I have magnetism, drawing off. Bullets respond to me at the snap of a finger. The raise of my hands could be my last free motion, the way loaded ammo tend to go off in my complexion. They stable cartridges and magazines for me. Mugshot my silhouette to practice off. More often now, I am the one you find, always in the way of a stray pointed dead at me.
Mm.
I get it. It's my blood that lines me. Dead center aim with the barrel. My bone that breaks bullets free from their chamber. My soul cry for discharge and firearms that keeps my head on swivel. I know now it's my living, my very existence. The supervillains me out of justice. They say I have magnetism, drawing aura. I hope that don't be the death of me.
Mm. 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 Mr.
That's
Witz.
how you do when somebody inspires some shit. You make sure you shout their name and you get them that love. I don't care where you at.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness. That was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
This, you never know who watching,
Exactly. And it needs
but
to
you
be heard all over the world, really. And I believe, and I say this, I believe it's the poet's time. It's our time because where are our leaders at? Who's speaking up for us? It's
better
up
say
to
that.
us. It's up to us. And like you said, to speak truth. You keep speaking your truth, honey. Keep speaking it because it needs to be heard.
Praise
Needs
be
to
to the
be heard.
Most High, for real,
Yes, I'm telling
that
you.
it could be instilled in me. I'm just trying to do my best to be instrumental now that I know what I'm supposed to do. See, I
Yes.
know I was definitely living a selfish life. I went through a whole lot of transition of me. But always in that me, I've always found ways to give more than I've taken. You know what I'm saying? Because I would never run amok like I'm without sin. You feel me? You know, it's been many of damage. I'll just say that I've done um um in as far as being an example living on this planet. You feel me? And I paid the price because you don't know who's watching, and I've lost. You know what I'm saying? I've lost. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to remember this piece now that he's on my mind.
Okay.
Um, this is a dedication to my nephew who died to gun violence. just had it at the tip of my head.
What's his name?
His name is Naeem.
Naeem.
Um, I actually named my son after him while he was still alive. My second son bears his first name for middle name.
Okay.
So my son name is Samir Naeem.
Samir
And
Naeem.
yeah, I hate that I don't have the words right now at the tip of my head. Let me see something. Because I want to give you this. This. I can't go without giving you this because it's on my heart. So I'm always on deck. I always got some sort of supply, something. Oh, don't do that to me. Give me one. Give me one. Yes, I got one. I just need one. Give me. All right. If I can get it started, then I can go.
Exactly.
I'm sorry to hold it up like that.
Mr. Witz, you take your time.
I
Take your
want you to have this poem so bad. Yeah, yeah. I'm doing like that. All right. I think I'm feeling like I'm under pressure right now. It's good and it's bad. I tell you, um, the beauty of it is, wise man said, if you're not doing something meaningful, then you have no reason to be with nerves. But when you're really trying to bring about change, it's nerve wracking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by all means, it's very nerve wracking. Um, oh my God, I thought it was in this book right here, and it's not. It's in my book of dedications, and I haven't released that book yet. That's why I got so many books. I have books that are released and unreleased, but they're all complete. So I have probably four more books that are already complete,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't released them yet. So, all right, let's give you something, being that I don't got you all warmed up to fail, right? To drop.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about something else that's very dear to my heart. Um, homelessness.
Okay.
Um, coming from East New York, Brooklyn, and my journeys through life, I've seen so much. I've seen so many homeless people from youth to grown women. I'm not even gonna say grown men, grown women. You know what I mean? Because you don't, I think it's more heartfelt when you see a woman in that predicament than a man, and that's sad that society weigh us in that fashion. Because you see how easily I could have manipulate that by just saying the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they've always fully lynched us. But as far as the homeless goes, I've always had a deep root to them, and I think a lot of that come from my brother. Again, I have a major influence from Coach Josh Smalls. He's my older brother, 4 years older than me, and a lot of things that I've went through in life was alongside him until I went onto my own journey, and then we found our way back to each other to doing what we're doing now.
Awesome.
He's took me inside my first club. I've had my first drink with him.
Mhm.
They have, or we played alongside each other in sports all the time, handball, basketball, baseball, you name it. And we just journeyed a lot in our youth. So, we got astray a little bit as you start to feel yourself out. Um, in what we consider the coming of age, when you start thinking you're an adult, because I think that's one of the biggest buffooneries that's manipulated over people to think that you've grown at 18 or even 21. You know
Come
what
on.
I'm saying? Wise man said you have to live 40 years on this planet to know how to survive on this bitch. And that means if you're not misdirected with all of the attention grabbers. Okay,
Come on.
so we way behind as far as thinking, as adult thinking, which is why they still pacify us and tell us how they're going to handle us. We still on the titty, whether we admit it or not. We still looking like, yo, what the government going to do? Because until they do it, we not doing it for ourselves. We don't have no land. We ain't got no crops. We ain't got no animals.
Come
So
on.
when these stores is running out of it because we don't ran in there like maniacs and fought each other for it, and they ain't come with a truck because they telling you these trucks is stuck on the water. Now there's
Come
nothing in these stores. What do?
on.
You looking at your neighbor because if this take on too long, guess what? If you don't start passing out what's in your house, guess what? Somebody's coming in there.
Exactly.
You know. So these are the stories. So let's talk about the homeless right now. Hard to sleep when the wind is whispering in your ear all night. When that same whisper cools your lobes to the drum, chills your spine like freezer burns, spreading under the very blanket you've carried around all day, numbing you to the soul. Until the next afternoon when you can again feel your toes. The
Mm.
U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development stated in last year's homeless assessment report there were over 500,000 homeless people in our country on a nightly basis, wasting away as if they were bad food, rotted meat, sickened livestock, no good human unfit for this society, the ununited state of this nation. They reflect all that we have thrown away. From subways, pathways, under highway bridges, sidewalks or storefronts to the wilderness, battling with nature, meeting their ends, but the church doors is closed, locked with a chain on it, upper echelon VIP passes only. They said knock on God's door. Ain't no one home when the Rolls Royce and Lamborghini wheels spin off. Any signs of trespass is stopped at the steps. Those stairs they told man led to the kingdom of God, the salvation of man, the gates of gold. Yet the ties weigh in more heavy than confession. The church doors is closed, locked and bolted from the scandals that would come to desecrate his home, bring their dirt to his floors, write their pain on his walls, dare to bring their damnation after business hours. The church doors is closed, off to the vet who has taken the reputation of the neighborhood wino. The church doors is closed, shut to the condition who have lost their directions inside a controlled substance. Closed without remedy, a pill for the sickness, a real solid solution for the aid they dismiss. The hours and wages tied to cleric's privilege made belief a flourishing business, parallel with prisons. There's got to be a correlated agenda, a systematic description to explain their hearing loss to the crying out loud or those unanswered knocks. There's no priest on call like you see in all the movies. The church doors is
Mm. 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 That's supposed to be the safety.
supposed to be the place of salvation. In every movie, there was a time when, you might have seen um, what was considered obscenity on laying on those steps, but the attempts to save those souls was supposed to go endless. If that be your home, excuse me.
Something because man,
So I feel like I
there's
need to
so
do something for
much.
Martin Luther King.
You gonna give me something for Martin Luther King?
Yeah, I did write a piece for him. I don't have it with me. I apologize for not having that prepared ahead of time. Um, but Martin Luther King is definitely one of our elephants. Um, what I mean by elephants is one of our waymakers, one of those that never forgot why he came, why he's here, and did the best to service that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Which is the all of man. Okay. So this piece right here, I'm gonna do for Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We love you for everything that you have done. Even though we have dropped the ball, and I take claim to my mishandling. Hopefully, we'll find our way. They bore it all before us, told the weight, carried us before our feet could walk the miles so that we wouldn't have to. And here we stand, still knee high to them, still walking, stepping alongside their footprints, our elephants who never forgot why they came, why they marched across a nation in the first place, a nation of tents now, made circus play of, after life offer intensity to break those chains, all they stood for, and we still bow-legged, pigeon-toed at the crossing paths of each other, damn near a smudge on a lens in this land. Knock-kneed weak in our b-boy stance, we still haven't learned to walk, how to jog our memory, how to run without engine, so we keep them harnessed like dangling keychains overlapping the pocket. And when it rains, we ride on the backs of elephants, quicksanding in their footprints, trying to uncover what they have missed, yet we miss and continue to step over when the sky blacks with arrows aimed at our heads. We've turned around again, took the other path, hoping the elephant thick of our skin withstand the bullwhip when lashed out at us at any bridge or bend. But all they see is our belligerence, our refusal, our war elephant crossing over the Alps again, challenging their borders, threatening their scale hold, the eye peeking from under the blindfold on justice, the boulders from the mountain that have crushed our elephant all along the travel, and we still stepping, standing in space, in alignment with their graves, waiting a reincarnation. I love that, yo. You know what? You know, did it a couple times. I'm still not expecting it, so I love it. I love it. I love
Well,
it.
you definitely worthy of it.
Now,
Definitely.
again, you know, I did that for Martin Luther King Jr. But even though we have this thing, this ongoing celebration where we keep celebrating him after his born day, you know, it's kind of like celebrating somebody's death date. I don't find the science in that neither. You know, you support you celebrate the life. You know what I mean? But yeah, we have to start reevaluating and not doing. We have to stop going with the flow and doing what we know is right in our soul. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because if we say, well, fuck it, we ain't showing up this goddamn day, they'll change it. They'll make the readjustment.
mm.
But you know, if I'm gonna do something for Martin Luther King, I have to do something for Malcolm X. Malcolm X warned us. They will give you black leaders to push a white supremacist agenda. Don't be blind within the vote. A system designed to oppress its people will find a way to work. When you eat something that does not sit with your stomach, does your digestive system not vomit or shit? When you pierce the flesh and blood finds an exit, does the circulatory system not pump blood to the heart? The skin, the largest living human organ system, will kill off cells to rebuild itself. A system is designed to work together even in the times it fights amongst itself. X warned they will give you a black leadership to push a white supremacist agenda. Don't get lost in the elect. A baby pacified is easier to handle than a child bent on rebellion. They will disguise Uncle Sam within Uncle Tom. They will house nigger for you to plow their fields. They will give you a black face, sleeves, and black hands to smack you like white man gloves. They will capitalize, market everything you come up with. They will patent your very life, incorporate business. They will replicate and own everything you are if you buy into their equality. X warned us. They'll give you a black leadership to push a white supremacist agenda. Don't be blinded by the arts. A dancing pack of naive individuals will tune to their demise. They will concert to Pied Piper your children. They will formation you out your use of a dollar. They will hole in your walls, rip off your roof, leave you to street in garbage bag tents. They will ill nature you out your very health. They will escort you out this world with your permission. They will break down a system, IV a people, just to instate diagnosis. X1. They will give you black leaders to push a white supremacist agenda.
Excuse my French. Damn. Yo.
I couldn't do one without the other. It's like they piggyback each other, you know what I'm saying? I really wish I had that MLK Jr. piece in front of me that I could have really gave you that real deal. But it's all good. I'm here for you.
Mr. Me. Mm.
Thank you, everybody that's in the room. Gifted, I see you. Love, Mike, I see you. AJ, I see you. Who's that? Stargirl Malcolm, I see you. Queen, Darkman Blues in the building. I see you, brother. The poet Rose Gold. How you doing, Queen? I don't believe we following each other, but I'll follow you. If you follow me, boom, I just hit you with the follows. Boom.
It.
Thank y'all for the love.
Oh, yes, and thank you everyone for joining us.
Am I coming in clear?
You are coming in loud and clear.
Okay, good.
Honey, everything you've done to this show right here is the wake up call. Your assignment tonight was to wake people up. Because you wow. Because especially the last piece you just did, the Malcolm X piece, choosing black leaders to push wow, an agenda of white supremacy. That's that right there. Just Oh, so I
I
guess
thank you
it.
for receiving it. Some messages just flow instantly. Some take some time to build. Some are actually constructed off of research. Um, I take every avenue available to me when I write. I don't limit myself with anything, and if I find something not to my liking, I ain't afraid to go back and work on it. Even if I've delivered it several times, I'll go back and do what I want to it.
Awesome. You are so awesome.
Mm.
I can't even. Mm. I usually ask my three questions about my books, but tonight has just been so powerful and, like I said, and eye-opening and truthful, the things that we need to hear, no matter what color you are. This was this show is for everyone to hear because a
That's right.
change has to come, a greater change. As a matter of fact, a greater movement. Uh, we
Things
got
are
to get.
happening.
We have to move different. We can't keep doing the same thing.
Hmm.
It's time to break the conditioning that has occurred from birth. Wow.
What I'm gonna say is, it has to. There's a lot of change happening, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing it within the box. I'm seeing it within the frame.
Right.
Um, like I don't see it within the community. Um, one thing I can say is, thanks to COVID, there has been a a downpour. I mean, not a downpour. There's been less police and harassment in the neighborhood, and I think a lot of that is because they scared to catch COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've seen a level of violence raise up amongst us, maybe due to that lacking of what we used to seeing. Um, not to mention all of the downward pressure. I should have said that first. All of the heavy that we're dealing with first is what's making people lose their mind. You have families being torn apart over monies. Um, there was people going to jail. I've witnessed a gas station telephone argument with a man yelling at his woman about how he don't give a damn of what how he gonna flip the damn stimulus check, and he don't give a damn how she feel about it because of the way they living. To a level, I can understand that, but to another level, it's like, wow, y'all could be in it. You could be in the street any moment. You know what I'm saying? So you have to weigh these things, and it's just the predicaments that have been imposed on people make you behave a certain way. So when you go to do that, and then the flip don't work, now you back to being a savage in the street. You want to take it out of somebody else's ass. You know what I'm saying? Um, I've been in the parking lot, and this actually was on the news. I was in the parking lot when two young boys, two different groups, decided to have a bang out. So they shooting, and I had to get out of my vehicle and get on a secure side of my vehicle just in case anything went through my windows. Because these young boys, these ain't no trained professionals. Bullets fly without names. They don't know what the hell they doing. And like I said, it was from in front of me and from behind me, and I had to literally get out of my vehicle, for my own safety. Um, that was a whole wild situation too. But this is stuff that's happened during the quarantine to show that it's having that major effect on people right there. But so much is happening within this screen. There's so much community, there's so much gathering, there's so much let's work together here, and it's not in the streets. It's not in the streets. We got to get this shit off the screen. You feel me? We gotta get off this. We gotta get off the screen. I don't care where we gotta build it, where we gotta where it need to launch pad from, but it got to come out. We gotta get it out of here, out of this box, because a lot of our youth ain't in this box. See, these is intricate minds that's thinking about how do we make a change, but without reacting on that change, there's still disaster happening every day on these streets. You know, I say it a lot because I'm a street merchant. I'm always selling my stuff out of the trunk, from my clothes to my books. You know, I've always been about how do I market what I have and what my family have. You know, so even though I don't have the physical building of a store yet, I've always had the vision that wherever I go, y'all go with me. You know what I mean? So, like I said, all I know is family. All I know is community. So, you know, I don't speak that shit by accident. It's being forced through me. It's being forced through me. I don't even have control over it. Like half the time, I be wanting to be selfish sometimes. I be wanting to tuck into myself, like, yo, how do I fix me? So much of me need to be fixed, you know? And I keep seeing pieces of me laying around in other people's backyard. And how the fuck do I get my puzzle piece back, you know? That belonged to me, you know? And still within that selfishness, it's like I can't do it. It's not for me, you know. It's for me to give. It's for me to put it out there.
Listen, you answered. You just the way you started the show, and the way you just ended the show, you just brought it all together. And yeah,
Well, again,
thank you.
thank
Thank you
you.
for coming on the show. Um, one afternoon, I'm going to go live so you can come and give me that Martin Luther King piece.
Yes,
I will definitely let you know about that. I'll reach out to you for that. And
definitely.
please give, before you go, give some words of encouragement, some kind of words for the people who are still here and who will end up seeing this and hearing this video.
Definitely, definitely. I do want y'all to know this community means a lot to me, and I see I see a lot of you growing. Um, I've seen a lot of you um, plant your original seed into this soil of poetry, and I'm seeing you flower now and blossom, and I truly am proud of a lot of you. Um, you know who you are. You know, my tribe ain't right tribe mainly because a lot of you I've actually started the online portion of poetry with. I've seen your growth. So I have to make sure that y'all know I love y'all and I see y'all working. And I just want us to continue to know that what roots do. Roots don't individual. They don't grow alone. They intertwine. You feel me? So let us intertwine our roots so that we can grow strong trees. You know what I'm saying? So when we do build this foundation, it's built off of something that 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 that's pillar. You feel me? Something that we can honestly be proud of and say, hey, look, we did this. I'm into the we. I'm truly into the we. You know, I want people to get the I out of their heart. Um, unless it's unless you're considering what how can I um be of assistance? How can I be of aid? You know, those are the eyes we need to look for. Um, we have to reshape the American dream because that's what we're chasing. And I don't care who's in here. You can't deny it. You ain't chasing Malcolm X's dream. You ain't chasing Martin Luther King's dream. You're chasing the American dream, which is how do I succeed in this maze of shit that has been imposed upon me, because that's the truth of it. Um, but I want you to all know that y'all ain't no mice or no rats or hamsters in this race. You feel me? Y'all are some solid, sound thinking individuals. Take control of your thoughts. Don't let nobody be your thought. You know, let's get away from the screens, get away from the movies, get away from things that are thinking for you, and become those self thinkers again. If it you know a fart when you smell it. You feel me? Don't let nobody tell you, oh, that's just a gas leak, and then it's gone. You know when, you know what I'm saying? You know, I watched a preacher spit in his hand, smack it across the face of somebody from the congregation, and then yell at the congregation and that he was making change. What he was doing was right. No way in hell. God ain't have nothing to do with no man spitting in his hand and smacking that across another man's face. Don't be manipulated by the words somebody use to justify their actions. You know wrong when you see it, when you feel it, when you smell it, and when you taste it. You feel me? So use your senses to the best of their ability. And again, um, keep working on your craft and do this. Let's hold hands across this country again. You feel me? Because we only do it when it's something that calls for it. When it's something's an anniversary, we have to do that every day and be on the screen. Let's do it beyond the screen. Let's get together. Let's hug each other. You feel me? Keep your saliva and your mucus and shit. I ain't kissing everybody. You know what I'm saying? But let's hug each other. You know what I'm saying? And get back to that. Get back. You know, I think it's so important that we touch each other. You hear me? I think that's very important to human sustaining life, to sustaining self, because emotions can be so confusing, especially when there's when there's a misunderstanding through communication. So we need to hug. So when you feel it, it don't matter what somebody tell you when they holding you. You know, oh, fuck you, nigga, because right now I'm in your arms. You feel me? So it don't matter what you say, you holding me. You know what I mean? And ain't nothing feminine about that. Ain't nothing um you know ain't nothing wrong about us showing affection with each other, man, woman, and child. So on that note, I love y'all. I love you, Lavina. Thank you, baby, for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a taste of Lavina, Poetic, Empress, coming at you
Peace.
with the mighty Mr. Witz.
Coach been in here wilding all night. A spoon full of sugar makes the medicine go down. He over there watching Mary Poppins again.
Okay.
Oh my God! Shout out to my niece Mina. She keep them going, baby. I love it. Thank you again, Queen. I appreciate your space. By
You're
all
welcome.
means, you have a beautiful evening.
Thank you. You also. And you can just hit the X. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in. Powerful show. Please join me next week, next Tuesday evening at 10 p.m. for a taste of Kiana. So I will see you guys then. Have a beautiful, beautiful night. Thank you.